It is Sunday the 2nd of November at about 1:45 in the afternoon, and I have a boot full of concrete slabs. Another free cycle jobby. They're quite good actually, they're a good size, but they're not too thick, which works well for the allotment. They're fairly light and easy to move around. So what's going on here? We've not been down here much, we're on a slow ebb on the allotmenting at the moment. It's busy and there's things going on and the weather's not been great, though today obviously looks pretty fantastic. It's all sunny. Last time I was down here I cleared these to encourage the final fruits to ripen and do their thing. Look at that new growth up there is just mad. I don't know whether this will be a video today, as in I think I'm going to stop the weekly things. I think I said that in the previous bit of filming I did. Things are looking autumnal and dying back, because I think we'll switch to maybe more fortnightly or even just monthly. There's a bit more ripening going on in the chili cage, chili greenhouse I should say. Anyway, we'll Cat is carrying a slab past me. I wasn't going to move them all the way up the back just now, but we'll see. We'll have to find a place to put those slabs for the moment. Not there, Cat. Right, anyway, I will get back to moving slabs. Okay, that's those slabs unloaded. I'm just poking around the polytunnel to have a look. We have a few chilies ripening up in here, which is good to see. Madravesias down there. And there is some colour coming into these big tomatoes here, which is good to see. And if we get much more weather like this, we might see a bit more ripening, which will be nice. There's at least another batch of passata to come, I'd say. So it's 19.5 degrees in here right now. If we get more of that sort of weather, then we'll definitely see some more tomatoes happening. Out here, where I just was before I stopped filming before, obviously. We now have 4 of these slabs just sat next to the greenhouse here. I was having a poke around the greenhouse. We've got some ripe ahahi mangoes down there. Various ripening things. Definitely more nagamorachas ripening down there, which is good to see. And I can see some colour in the, there's a decent sized, here we go, decent sized 7-pot primo down there. These potatoes are definitely over. We'll have to start digging potatoes pretty soon. Today would be a good day for it, but we've got some other things we must do, unfortunately. Not been making the best use of the weekend from the perspective of the allotment, really. And there's an example of how much space these nice thin slabs take up. So that's pretty good for a 9x9 square, I reckon. We're probably not leaving them there. That was mainly just for personal feel/illustrative purposes, and I have the plan of using them for the patio area up the back, really. Anyway, we've got to get into town and go to the polar shop and buy stuff for this week's work barbecue, which I'm in charge of. Doing some smoking, smoked beef and smoked lamb, and going to have some Polish pickles and stuff. Anyway, this coriander's looking good, isn't it? I'd better crack on with it, and we'll see how this comes together as far as the videos go, because I'm a bit behind at the moment. As I keep saying, it's a bit of the autumnal melancholy, but today's pretty spectacular. Anyway, I better crack on with the rest of the plans today.
Yeah.
And just before we leave, as we're packing up, one ravenous glitter kitten appears. Bloody hell. Hear that? Munch, munch. Nom, nom, nom. Slow down. It's not going anywhere. Anyway, we must leave you. We have pickles to buy. Okay, well, not a bad little trip. I guess this is finishing up video number 2, since we were interrupted by the kitty cat there. And we have a bit of a harvest. Oh, there's a cat. We're probably having some lamb chops for dinner. Maybe burgers, not sure, but lamb chops I'm thinking, maybe tomorrow. But that's why we've got some potatoes, one moolie, which we have no particular, I assume Cat probably has a plan for that, and a couple of beetroots, which also go nicely with some lamb chops. Okay, now we're really going. Well, we've done our shopping and little chores and bits and pieces, and managed to get back to the allotment before the end of the daylight. A little bit of a harvest, which is cool. Not bad for November 2nd. Those tomatoes will of course ripen up, and I expect we'll get more ripening out of what's left in the polytunnel as well. Nice little crop of ahi mangoes there. Won't quite make the sort of volume of powder we did 2 years ago, which lasted us 2 years. I think we'll get some more ripening, so we'll see where we end up with that. A couple of bullhorn capsicums, the last pumpkin from the plot. That was hanging on one of the ume trees up the back, funnily enough. It was the pumpkin plant that we planted in the compost. Didn't really look after it very well, so that's all the fruit we've got from those. I think I put 2 pumpkins in there. That's all we've got. And some other bits and pieces in there. All the piri-piris. Not going to make much piri-piri sauce out of that, unfortunately. But yeah, there you go. We have been admiring the what you call it, paving slabs here. Kind of looks cool. We might keep that, though we'll do it better than just lay them on the wood chip, of course. It's an interesting little staging area, and we were thinking of potentially having tubs of potatoes around that tree anyway, so that'd work for that too. We'll see. It's an idea. And yeah, so polytunnel is looking good. We really should have had our winter crops in the ground by now, but yeah, well, we'll see. We do what we can. Anyway, enjoy that bit of sunset sky. The pink clouds. Very nice. Well, it is Sunday the 9th of November at about 1 p.m. and we're just bringing the fire pit back from the work barbecue, which I took the fire pit to and did some slow smoking. It appears the cat has been useful based upon the deadness of that rat that looks like it's been a bit chewed on. I think I might end up blurring that out a bit. It's a bit grotesque. But yeah, interesting. Cat paying its rent maybe. So what are we here for today? Aside from dropping off the fire pit, we're looking at getting our first garlic in, and our garlic arrived from the garlic farm this week. So one of the key places to plant the garlic is going to be this bed here. So we've got to pull all these potatoes out of that bed to get 2, maybe 3. I think 3 rows of garlic in that bed. And we've got to decide where else we're putting garlic. So we've got these beds here. Normally, this bed down the end is our garlic bed every year, but we think we may have had some signs of white rot in there last year. So we're retiring that bed for a few years and moving on to one of these beds, or probably both of these beds, because we use the full length of that bed for alliums, mostly garlic, whereas these have the rhubarb and the asparagus down the end. So we're going to weed some spots out in this, because some stuff here we want to keep for a little while, probably. Got the coriander, parsley here, the chard here can go, I reckon. But then we've got the moolie, though some of that does seem to be flowering now. Is that? Oh, that might actually be that's the one that is supposed to flower, the one that we eat the pods of. These are the moolies down here, a bit lower. Celeriacs, which may come out because they've not bulbed up. And this here is actually just junk, so that can be weeded out for garlic. And meanwhile, we've got this whole beetroot section here, so we can weed all that out all the way up to the asparagus. And then we've got some new coriander coming down here. So basically, from that beetroot onwards, can probably be garlic planting. But yeah, definitely got a lot of weeding and clearing to do. So the other day we picked up more of these slabs. So the plan with these slabs, I mean, we quite like this idea here, but the actual main plan for the slabs is to do the patio up the back. And one of our plans today is to get that fence out of the ditch again. Bit deja vu there. This is where the fire pit needs to go. So yeah, there's a fence down there somewhere. I need to work all this whole back area out properly. I guess that's going to become a slow drip winter project. Basically landscape this whole area here, flatten that out, get the fence in properly with a slab retaining wall, and yeah, other bits and pieces. Plenty of work to do. It has been actually like, oops, sorry about the noise. It has been a couple of weeks at least since I posted a video. I'm on a bit of a slowdown on the videos at the moment. We do have some more ripening here, so that's good to see. There's a bit of warmth in this chilly greenhouse at the moment, which is nice. Oh, we got some more orange drops ripening up too by the looks of it. They're still part green. Interesting how they do in patches like that. So we're gradually getting some ripening, and the yucky blue are actually quite tasty. Sort of not quite a super hot, but a fairly hot, especially once they go red like this. So yeah, we got some more chilies happening, but one of the other things is it's probably getting time to clear out the polytunnel. I don't know if I'm going to basically bother catching up the previous videos. It takes a lot of time doing a little bit of video editing that I do. Oh, lots of nice red chilies down here. That's good to see. And we have some more ripening on the tomatoes, so we still have things going on. We can definitely work on clearing out the beds and get the garlic in without having to take the tomato plants out right away. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, the season is extending longer than we normally would expect it to, with all the warm weather we're seeing. We haven't had anything even in the bottom half of the single digits yet, I think. And the next week of weather is mostly with minimums above 10, aside from a couple of nights in the forecast. But we shall see. Anyway, we shall crack on with things. I need to move that big fire pit and then get the car out of the way. Maybe we've got some form of video content I can edit in here after this little bit of an intro, and then we can catch back up after that with what we've done today with the garlic. In fact, I've probably got a little bit of garlic chat to give before we plant it as well, but we'll see where we get to. Oh boy. We have a glitter kitten, but what we mainly have is potatoes. So Kat has cleared this bed out, and you can see there's some potatoes here. The potatoes I was just looking at were from this bed as well, and then there's all these potatoes here too. So we got potatoes galore, which is good. I've done some clearing here, and cleared back the asparagus and cleared the bed next to it. So we're making some space for some things. It's going to be a pity because it was nice having all our garlic in one big bed. It looked really good having that big front bed of garlic, but this year things will be different. This is the wonky white, sold as eating garlic, that we grew last year to some success. So we're going to grow that as well. It's a good value. And here is those other potatoes I mentioned that Kat was growing. I'm sorry, the Kat pulled out of the other long beds. But yeah, that seems like a pretty good year for potatoes for us, really. We normally grow them in containers, this sort of container. Historically, that has mainly been because of a lack of space. Obviously, with the extra plots now, with the extra plot on top of the original, we have more space for growing potatoes. And I'm a convert to growing them in the ground. My failed attempt at lighting a fire today, I didn't have the right stuff on me to do it, really. Yeah, so I think potatoes in the ground is the future for us. Yeah, so this is the garlic I bought from the garlic farm. We are working on becoming more self-sufficient for our own garlic. Because it's expensive. I mean, that's £8 for those two. I mean, they're all, normal retail price, and it's not just the garlic farm, it's anywhere. £8 for 2 heads of garlic is pretty normal. So I've got a Carcassonne white, if that's how it's pronounced. This is a new one for us this year, extra early white. And this is one of our regulars, Kingsland white. And we have quite a few of our own bulbs we'll plant as well. and we have the eating garlic I filmed earlier, the wonky white they call it. So I'm going to break these up and let's see what we end up with. And there we have it. That's what we get out of 2 heads of garlic. The Carcassonne is a little bit diminutive, but that's probably just the variety. Not too bad. I've got, out of each head, I've basically got 12 cloves. From experience, trying to put these tiny little ones in just doesn't yield much. And there's definitely a correlation from our own growing experience that the bigger cloves yield the bigger heads. There's probably a limit to that. There's probably diminishing returns in how big you put the cloves in, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's like an optimal that's around this size, but we haven't done enough science experimentation on that to really know. But what we'll do is we'll put each of these in this year. So that's the Kingsland, this is the Early, and that's the Carcassonne. They're all white varieties. I don't really know what that means, but lots of garlic is white variety. I don't know if maybe that's to do with Isle of Wight. I'm not sure. And then I might actually put this row in as well, because I'll be interested to see how that goes. And I might actually try and sort these so that we plant them from approximately the biggest through to the smallest, and see if that has any impact on the cloves we get. Not a purely perfect scientific experiment, but it's interesting. I don't like it when they do this and the skins come off, but we'll put it in the ground and see what happens. And from the extra early, we actually had a couple of duds, mouldy. We definitely do not try to grow them. So yeah, now it's time to pop these into the ground. So we just dib each hole with this board, and as you can see behind me, I've already done that side, then we slide this along so that this is matching up with the previous holes, and this way we can go all the way along a long bed, or in this case it's only 2 goes to go along this little short bed, well 2.5 even. And what's this bed giving us? How many rows do we have here? Let's count once I've done poking holes in the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rows of 6 for this. So that's probably going to consume all of our bought garlic varieties, because we can put 3. Oh no, we're going to fit more in. No, so we're going to need both beds, because we've got 4 rows of 6 of each variety. So we can put 4 plus 4, yeah. Cool, okay, it's going to take both beds. Right, let's get them in there then. Now that is one ridiculous potato. This is the Cara variety we got a bag of earlier this year from the Skylight Garden Centre. They're interesting potatoes. They're fine. They tend to be a little bit floury and prone to breaking down, so you got to be careful with them when you're cooking them, because they will go quite sloppy if you boil them. But yeah, can't complain about the amount, and that's not even close to all of them. There's another big pile of them in that container down there, which is hard to see from this angle. But yeah, I'm going to start packing them into this bucket here so we can take them home. And then we've got all of these as well. Well, it's twilight now. Nothing new planted in those 2 beds. The garlic as described down there. And over here we've put the greenhouse and the polytunnel to bed and packed everything into the car, except for the cat. So yeah, so in here, that's just all potatoes. That's crazy. Bit of rhubarb, leftover garlic, beetroots, but actually also on top of just more potatoes. And that's a tray of potatoes. So yeah, a few kilos of potatoes there. Anyway, that'll do us for today. End of the week, Monday tomorrow. just trying to trap me into deserving a bite.